You said the boys were going to make them have a whole meeting.
Well, I mean, get mine hard.
Savoring the sweet sugar.
I know I don't like those, so I'm not all right, we'll stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right.
I stayed outside a little long.
All right, we'll call the Overbrook City Council meeting for February 2000. Whoa, let's go. All right, Kyle?
Crash down.
Okay. 2026 to order at 6 o'clock. Betty, how you doing over there?
Good.
All right. Becky, would you take roll, please?
Overbrook. Cheryl Miller. Thomas Smith. Matt Craig. Kyle Michael.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Christine, we have a quorum. All right, that takes us to the approval of the agenda. Do we have any changes, corrections, additions to the agenda? I'd like to make one. Ms. Megason asked to be removed from the agenda. We've got her questions answered. We'd like to move up the Washburn students and comprehensive plan up underneath E1, make it Echo 2. Any other changes, corrections, additions to the agenda? Nope. Okay. Take a motion to approve the agenda as amended. We got a motion by Cheryl, second by Polly. Any discussion on that? All in favor? All opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. All right. Before we get started on the consent agenda, everybody in front of them has your governing handbook. I just wanted to say, we got the new ones. We talked about this last meeting. Please take time to review this. In front of them, we've numbered them. They did have some cost to them, so please hang on to them. And if you would like to leave it here, you're certainly welcome to do that. But take a look at those. It has lots of good information in. We have some new council members, and it's a good refresher for some of the other council members and myself. So take some time to read that to get the any changes to particularly Coma and Cora type requirements. All right, any questions on that? Not, that takes us to the consent agenda. Oh. I can do that. I'll do that right after the consent agenda. All right. Everyone had a chance to review the consent agenda? Want to talk about anything in there? I failed to get the last planning and zoning meeting minutes to Becky, so I'll get those to her after this meeting for next month. All right, anything else? All right, take a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion by Cheryl. A second by Hannah. All in favor? All opposed? All right. Becky wanted me to go over this. As a part of this, we had some amendments to our meeting minutes, just to make sure that if we're going to go into executive sessions, we have some appropriate wording here. We got a cheat sheet, so each of you has that. So the items that we can go into executive session for are 1 through 16. Some of them are not related specifically to cities. They're related to other public meetings, but take a look at those. Any questions on that, we can get answers to that. All right. That takes us to Anameco sewer project update. Keithan, if you'd talk to us a little bit about last meeting. This is Keithan Meyer with Schwab Eaton. And as you know, we opened the bids on the 21st of January. He indicated he would have a tab sheet to us for review, and last meeting, everyone got the opportunity to review the contracts. Any questions and concerns on that, I think were answered. So we are ready to move forward with that. So Keithan, what do you got for us?
Yeah, big picture, we've been working with you guys on the sewer project, mainly with your staff over the last couple of years. Just bid the project at your lagoon, which is funded through the SRF program. Basically what we're doing is we're taking your existing lagoons, we're adding some piping so that they can operate completely in series. Right now there's some parallel operation and then some series that'll help give wastewater longer in those lagoons. We're also removing all the sludge and then building a wetland cell so the whole system can operate without discharging to the creek under normal conditions. If you have enough rain, you may still have to do an emergency discharge. We got 3 bidders on the project, and the low bid was a very good bid, well under budget, about a little over $200,000 under budget. So you're well within the budget for the project. We been talking with the city staff a little bit. You also got a really good price on riprap specifically, and we have some of that in the project. We may add that to some other areas to add some extra protection for erosion. So there's probably going to be a change order coming in at some point to increase the erosion protection that we're adding to the project. But that's all within budget and will be covered partially by grant since you're under the overall cost that was budgeted. The path forward, our recommendation is that you award the project to Dirk's Heavy Contractors. They're out of Western Missouri and do a lot of dirt work. They do development, subdivisions. They also do utilities, so they're a really good fit for this project. And yeah, so our recommendation is you award to them in the amount of $1,142,000 or $1,142,560.00. The recommendation said contingent upon KDHE review and approval of the bid documents. That has already been completed and KDHE has approved them. So once you guys accept our recommendation, John can sign the notice of award and we'll get that to the contractor and they'll start getting their bonds in place so we can get contracts to you to sign. Is there any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the wetland situation.
Okay. What specifically?
Well, like, just tell me about what it is and.
So basically what a wetland is in a lagoon system is a lagoon cell that doesn't have a clay liner. So the water is able to soak into the ground at a higher rate than a normal lagoon cell. So basically you have 4 lagoon cells that are treating the wastewater, and then your lagoon effluent can be pumped to a wetlands instead of to a creek. And the hope is that there will be an aquatic environment that develops there that uses the water, that helps the water soak in through roots, that you get some evapotranspiration of water being used by water plants, but ultimately most of that's just going to soak into the ground. And the advantage is that allows your system to not have to meet certain testing requirements to be able to discharge to the wetland cell. So it's kind of like a relief valve. You'll be able to pump water there and then slowly build up water in your lagoons and pump more water there. And yours in particular, we've designed with a sloped bottom. So there's a deeper portion that's about 4 acres, and then a gradual slope for another 3 acres, and kind of a 1 acre landing at the top, if you will. And so it's kind of a way to vary the size of it based on what you need. So your operators, as they need more, they can pump more water in and basically slowly increase the size of the footprint of the wetland cell by increasing the depth.
You might remember that this part of this project was under our MPDS permit as part of our compliance within the discharge permit that we currently have. They asked us to come up with a plan and then implement that plan, and we have some specific deadlines, and some of those deadlines are coming due in 2027. So we expect to have this awarded, constructed, and completed by the end of 27, and that'll meet our requirements and our discharge permit, current discharge permit. Then they'll issue a new discharge permit once that is completed and satisfactory. So we'll operate under 2 discharge permits for a little while. All right, the bid specs and plans are over here. I think they were available for review, so.
Have you worked with Dirks before?
I have not specifically worked with them, but I feel very comfortable based on the questions they asked, past projects they've done. We've done some background research on them.
Did they give reasoning for the disparity on line item 16? That's the big swing right there.
I don't have the line items memorized. So.
That's the wetland cell earth.
Yeah, so the grading.
Yeah. They just basing that on efficiencies and past experiences?
Yes. The main thing there is efficiency. I did talk to the contractor that got second, called me and talked to me, and he mentioned he had quite a bit of contingency built into that, based on just not being sure how the soils I would handle the dirt work, or how they would respond to some of the work he was going to be doing. I think Dirks, based on some of their past experience, I think they just feel more comfortable with that, and I think they have a very efficient process. So that's the main reason for that.
That's the line item that got them the job.
Oh yeah.
So.
And they're very good at that, I think.
Okay.
I mean, they've done a lot of very big jobs.
Did they all come out and take a look physically?
Yes. I believe so. I know Dirks did. I also know they got second on a pretty big lagoon job like the week before yours did.
So they had an opening in the schedule.
Yes, I think it was a little bit schedule driven, and they needed to work more than the other one. So that's another thing that drove that number down.
Just curious.
Yep.
Any questions on the award? If not, do we have a motion to approve the award to Dirks?
I make the motion that we go with, keeping the recommendation to use Dirks
motion by Polly, move forward, and a second by Cheryl. Any other discussion on that? No? All in favor? All opposed? All right, I'll sign this. You probably want to take this with you, I assume?
Yes, I would like to take the notes forward.
This is the 11th. Well, I will look here just to make sure, because, it's not. Since it appears to want to be spelled out. February 2026. Still, right? That's okay.
The contract extra signed as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to the Washburn students. So if you just stand and tell us your names, and for the record.
Hello. Obviously, we represent Washburn's Public Administration Department. My name is Leah Spurlock.
Gentry Babcock.
Sebastian Harschenberg.
Amaya Carpenter.
So basically, we were placed on this job by our professor, Bill Fyander. As most of you have probably talked to him. He cannot be with us tonight due to personal reasons, but we hope to represent him well, obviously. So what we're presenting to you is the idea of using GIS mapping. So for most of our work, we're trying to help you gather your land use data so we can help work on the project that we're doing. And GIS mapping would be very useful for that. And I do want to pass it over to Sasha. She is the professional from JEO, the company you would be working with, just to describe what GIS mapping is and just all of the professional ideas that she has of this.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, governing body. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to talk this evening about your comprehensive plan update. So, as Leah mentioned, I'm Sasha Hahn. I'm a public affairs project manager with JEO Consulting Group. And we're a full-service engineering firm in Northeast Kansas. We have offices in Topeka and Lawrence and Overland Park and Wichita as well. And so Dr. Flyander is a good friend of mine, and he reached out about the mapping needs for the comprehensive development plan. A good comprehensive development plan is going to have quality maps that folks that are interested in development and even private property owners that want to do stuff on their land have a visual map that they can see what land use is allowed. We've also been asked to provide a map of a base map with your parcels and addresses, places of interest like City Hall, the police department, the schools, things like that. A land use map that would be over that base map that has addresses and those places of interest. Housing conditions, the students would be mapping your local housing conditions, and we'd create a map that showed, if you could visualize like a heat map sort of in your mind, that's kind of what that end product of that looks like, so that you can see the condition of the housing stock in your community in a visual way. And that helps with decision-making processes, that you guys will be faced with. In addition, a map of your utility system has been included, and then a flood hazard map showing the 100 and 500 year flood hazard areas and floodways in Overbrook. And of course, it would have titles, scales, legends, all of that. Now, we have mentioned GIS, and we would use our geospatial division department in GAO to create the maps. But the purpose, the scope really of this project from our perspective is to provide you guys with quality PDF maps that can be included as a part of the document. The GIS maps that we would have, or I'm sorry, files that we would use to build those PDF documents, they would belong to you. And we'd deliver them to you like on a flash drive or something, but I don't know that they'll be terribly useful for you at this point without a GIS system. But we will use GIS mapping to produce the maps that would be included in your comprehensive development plan update.
On these maps, let me back up just a minute here, because the students here are going to be working on our comprehensive plan. We haven't updated our comprehensive plan in a really long time.
10 years.
And so we're hoping to get out of this a good comprehensive plan with good quality mapping that we can use to govern our decisions, not only for this body, but for any other governing body as we move forward in a 5, 10, 15-year type of look. You know, what do we want the city to look like? What is that goals within that comprehensive plan? And that's what they're going to be working on. So they're going to be here asking a lot of questions, gathering a lot of data, and what are we going to get out at the end of this? We hope to have a excellent comprehensive plan that none of us had to sit down and write, and also some good quality mapping. The question I had associated with the GIS mapping, we've looked at GIS in the past, specifically for our maintenance planning type stuff. Some of those were pricey options, yearly maintenance fees and that kind of thing. But with these base maps, would this give us a start on then expand that out to where we could go out and get some GIS here to where we could click on an address and say, okay, these are the things that have been done at this address. These are the permits that have been issued, that type of thing?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
And I did provide a rough estimate. We'll put a pin in that rough estimate. It's not a final cost proposal of what we think it would cost to help Overbrook stand up a GIS system. Our GSD department thinks they could do that between $5,000 and $10,000 and help you guys get your own GIS system with a start on your utilities in it. Eventually you can put anything in GIS that you want to. Your street assets, all of your underground utilities, your buildings, you can use it to build your website. I mean, I'm not here to pitch GIS, but there's a million really good things that a local government can use a GIS system for. So we can absolutely position you with the creation of these maps to be able to use those. And we can, if you want to have further conversations about what it would look like to start a GIS system for Overbrook, we can do that. And those big subscription fees shouldn't be like even $1,000 a year.
Okay.
ArcGIS is the platform that our guys use, and we think it's the best. They are kind of the big dog in GIS mapping. But yes, we can talk about that. But absolutely, you'd be able to use these maps that we would be using to create the PDFs for that purpose.
So I think what we're asking for here, turn back over to you, is that the cost proposal for what we're talking about in the comprehensive plan is an hourly fee not to exceed $5,000. Is that my understanding?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's what the consideration is for this. Obviously, we can do produce a somewhat of a comprehensive plan in a Word document, or a document of some kind, but without, quality mapping in it, I think it's gonna fall a little short of what our goal is. But that's you guys' decision, so kinda that's what we're kinda asking about, and I'll turn it over to you.
Sorry. So I do also want to add, walking away from the data and the numbers, I also want to kind of put it in perspective for your community. Sometimes it can be difficult to envision something if you don't have a picture right in front of you. And in order to get a community into a project like this, you want to have visuals so people can actually see what you're trying to get out of this. If you want people to be involved, you can put these pictures on even your screen or wherever. You can invite the community in to see what your end goal is, and I know that can be extremely helpful. I remember when I was doing, we actually worked with JEO for a project that they were doing for some sidewalk surveying. And I know when we did our community gathering, we allowed people to come see the pictures and actually physically pinpoint and put stickers on where they think that things need to be fixed. I think that was a really good way to get the community in and get involved. And I do think that would be of utmost benefit, aside from the numbers and aside from the data, to really get people involved and be able to be a part of this project. I know for us, our goal is not really to completely change what you're doing or anything. I want to make sure that we're able to walk with you every step of the way, and that you are completely and utterly involved in whatever we're doing. I want to make sure that your opinion stands much higher than any of the projects that we are doing. So if you ever find that you do not like maybe what we're saying, or you want to do it differently, feel free to let us know, because we want to make sure that we are able to help this community, help build it. That's our end goal. Not really of anything else, but just to help and build your community, and for people to, as we said last year, to not overlook Overbrook, as you guys like that saying. So that is our entire goal with this project. And there's one girl missing. Her name's Laura. But I know for all of us, and Bill included, we've invested a lot of time, and we really want to see your community succeed. And for this project and any future projects that we have the pleasure of working for you, that it all comes to fruition, and that you guys can see whatever your end goal is, and that we know we helped you get there, and that you guys are satisfied with anything that we put in front of you.
You'll be meeting with the growth committee. A couple of us are on the growth committee, and we'll be meeting with you to find out what have you done so far, what do we want to contribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll be doing that on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
We meet every other Monday. We just met this week, so it'll be whatever that month, the 23rd.
So the expense of this comes out of what part of the overall budget?
I think it could come out of a variety of funding. I mean, we could, since it's gonna kind of encompass really all portions of the city, and water, sewer, streets, it could really come out of a piece of any of those fundings. We could have a particular funding if you wanted to take it out of that.
So is it such a thing where we could start out with the 5K that we first started with, and then we see how it goes, and it's like, oh, we want to go deeper and two kind of
absolutely.
thing, or do we
Yeah.
just
I-
do it all, or what?
I think go ahead.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I suck at this. I suck. I interrupt all the time. So as it says on JEO's thing, it is billed hourly. So they're not going to just charge you a flat fee of $5,000. Am I correct, Sasha? Okay, just want to make sure I'm not lying on behalf. But yeah, they're going to bill it hourly. So whatever they do and get to the base, they may not even use the complete $5,000. They just are giving it to. It will not exceed for now $5,000 until you come to them and say, actually, we would like to do more. Then they will obviously start.
I apologize. I did not even see that.
No, it's okay.
That is
No, yeah.
It says it right there.
Yeah, I'll flash for you too.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
never seen a a map like this, and it's hard to vote for
Oh,
something.
there
I've
we
never
go.
seen one.
Look at us.
So, this is you guys' current,
Yeah.
land use.
I've
map.
seen that one.
Okay, and then, and this is actually the one that this is what you find on your website, which it's an image, a photo of this. So, a utility map, have you guys ever looked at plan sets of like a water line project here in town?
We got sewer maps right over there.
Okay, so it's the utility map would show the lines on the ground where your sewer and water lines
That would be hand-drawn.
are.
It's not a photo.
No, ma'am, it would be, we would use the GIS mapping system to draw the lines of where it is.
But it's not a photo, some system draws it.
Yeah.
Think of something like that.
That's what I was trying to find something
Well,
to pull up.
Yeah, think of something like that.
So there would be an area layer that photo image that you're thinking, like when you look at Google Maps or whatever, you know, and show the trees and you can find your house or whatever, that would be on there, but if you turn that off, think of that, and the aerial goes away and it looks something more like this, and then there would be lines that would show you where your utilities are.
All right.
So you guys
And
would have a
each-
visual of your asset.
Each thing you're looking at would be on a separate sheet. The water on
Yes.
one sheet, the
Yes.
houses on another. and
Yes,
so
they are.
Is there anything that lays them all on top of each other?
That's how GIS works. If you envision your housing map as a sheet, right? And your utility map is a sheet, and your land use map is a sheet, and then your aerial, right, the photograph that shows us the trees and what our house looks like and all that, and put all that together, that's GIS. That's what it is. And you can produce a picture out of that, you can show all of the things together, you can look at one layer at a time, but you can also, it's more than a picture, it's an asset management system, maybe is a way to think of it. It's a way for you guys to know where your assets, like water lines and sewer lines, are in the ground. And in the case of there you go.
Yeah, there's one.
In the case of your housing stock, you know, like see those colors on there, imagine that's a heat map of the blue means those houses are in great condition, and the red means those houses are in terrible, and I'm just making
Right.
stuff up here for the purpose of example, but, so we're gonna build them in an environment where it could all be an individual piece or all together. And then we're gonna produce a PDF image for you guys for your document, but then that further conversation about GIS and how the city can use that is, you know, we'd be happy to continue that conversation.
As an example, what I expect to see out of there, with just one small piece of that, is we'd have a map much similar to this, and as she said, the different colors and what have you, but if we were going to ask, okay, if a contractor came in here and said, hey, we want to build some houses, where could we build those? You'd be able to come to the comprehensive plan,
Yeah.
jump into it and say, hey, this is what it's zoned as, this is an empty lot, or no, this has a structure on it, but it is an older structure, that type of thing. So you can make decisions and provide that to people that, as we move forward. And that's the whole point of the comprehensive plan, is how do we want to grow the city, what is it gonna look like, and what pieces are on there. Now, the secondary pieces of that, which we looked at quite a long time ago, I don't think Cheryl, you might have been on the council when we looked at this. GIS, you can add, for instance, work orders. So if we said, Sally's house at 105, Baker Street, they have a work order. So they can click on that and they can say, well, what do I need to do here? What's the problem? You can attach pictures. When that problem was solved, you could then attach more pictures to that, and then you'd have a history of that, go to your map and say, okay, I've repaired this particular thing 7 times in the last 10 years. And that's kind of the long-term, how people use GIS mapping, especially in their maintenance departments, is, you know, where are these issues showing up? Or maybe we have a complaint issue of water, you know, maybe we have a water issue, and you'd be able to put that type of issue in a GIS mapping, but you have to have a base to start with. So this is kind of the step 1 of maybe step 50, don't know, but,
So, I know that we don't know the condition of a lot of our plumbing, underground plumbing, whatever you call that, pipes. How would we know that? We wouldn't really know that. We would just figure out where they are,
well, we know where all the water is, and we know where
the sewer, I guess.
90% of the sewer is, I would say. One thing we don't have is gas lines, phone cables,
How would they figure that out?
so that's part of this.
Yeah, so, in the instance of your city utilities, what if we were to, let's say, we were gonna build a GIS system together? We would first want to know, what records do you have? Do you have plan sets of your sewer? Do you have sewer plans right here somewhere?
Right.
Do you have water, plans of your water lines? Do you have plan sets of your gas, your underground natural gas system? Streets, same thing.
But if we don't, the part that we don't have, how would you handle that?
That is trickier. That is trickier. So then what you do is they make equipment for the field, and you have folks that go out with this equipment, and it measures and draws, think of it like that, in that GIS environment, right, while they're in the field. So I'm gonna hold my equipment here on this manhole, and then he's gonna go down to the other manhole, and it's gonna give us an approximate location of where that water line runs in between you and me. So it's very labor intensive. It's not hard work, but it's, you gotta walk around and find all the stuff and put this piece of equipment on it, and then that maps it in a GIS environment, and then you build on that, and build and build and build. You know, it can be an asset management system, it could be a records management system, it could be a public information system. I mean, the list goes on. Yes, ma'am.
You guys have any other,
What is the hourly rate we're doing that here, that's 5,000? Is that what it is?
didn't,
I thought I saw it in the notes.
I probably just think that I didn't see it.
is there an hourly rate on there?
I'm looking, and no, there is not. And actually, this was like this is a template that we need to finish out the details. Following this meeting, what I hoped that Bill and Becky and I could do is get a scope, which it's gonna be a half a page, but describing the maps that we talked about, the utility map, the base map, the housing map, the land use map, and the flood hazard map, and so that we have in writing, what our goals are. And then it does have language about, no work proceeds without the authorization of the city. So Becky's gonna tell us when to go. And we're gonna monitor that budget total closely. And I don't know, until we get in here and dig in to see what records are available, whether it's gonna cost $2,500 or $5,000, you know what
Oh, I
I mean?
understand that, I'm
Yeah,
asking what the
but
hourly rate
yes,
you're billing at.
I apologize. We can definitely get that listed.
All right. Any other questions on this? Do we want to give authorization to move forward with no more than $5,000 on this, or what do you guys want to do?
Well, my concern would be, given the amount of stuff that we have, it could take them 100 hours, or not knowing how much they're charging per hour, like what if they can only map one thing, because it's gonna take the full $5,000 worth, not knowing the hourly rate.
That's my point.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that we can I don't feel comfortable voting on just yes, $5,000 if we don't know how many hours, like if they send us a scope of how many hours it's gonna take.
I could call the GSD lead and, what he may come back to me with, I'll call him for you all, absolutely happy to do that, is he may say, well, it's gonna be a range, because if I have my entry GIS
But there's a
person,
burn rate.
yeah,
Every business has a burn rate, so you
Yeah.
have to know what you're gonna base it on.
so that, he may tell me that it's $90 to $150 an
I would
hour.
expect $140 to $150 for
Yeah.
engineers.
But, yeah, I'm happy to call him and step outside and,
It would be to see what we have, get an estimate on how many hours it would take with what we have. Put that into the scope.
Are you guys, I guess, let me ask it a different way. This amount of dollars, if we did spend all 5,000, are we minimally guaranteed that sets of 5 maps that you listed off there?
PDF
PDF, I
was the
understand that.
deliverable that our GSD folks were scoping for the $5
Right,
grand
for the
list.
project.
Not the, a robust GIS map and
Right,
PDFs.
we know that that's gonna be extra.
Yeah, that's what our focus
Scope of
was.
this project is to get this into the comprehensive
Yes.
plan. The additional scope would be more GIS mapping, and then we would need to determine, do we want to stand that system up for the city, or how do we want to approach
That
it?
makes more sense to me, because you know what we're getting for $5,000. So I would make a motion to approve the $5,000, since we know what we're gonna get.
I'll second.
Sorry, Bailey, I didn't say it very loud.
We got a motion by Polly. And a second by Cheryl for the $5,000. Just repeating it, and correct me if I'm mistake. To move forward with the PDF mapping that is laid out in the project, and that is the 5 maps we've discussed here. Was it 5? I think it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? Any other thing to add? Alright, if not, then I'll call for the vote. All in favor? All opposed? Alright, motion passes. 5-0, I believe. Is that correct? Okay. Alright, we'll move forward with that, and we'll get a better
I will. I'll get you an updated,
updated
agreement and a scope to go with it.
scope and a finalized scope.
3 hours.
Yeah.
When's your Brook meeting?
6 o'clock.
Where is it here?
I imagine these 5 students will be pretty busy gathering information for their mapping folks.
We will make sure to kind of report back to you every time we get something new. I'll make sure to bring it to these growth meetings, and I am already in contact with Becky, so I'll make sure that anything that we gather that's new or anything that it passes by through her. I've also created a document of your comprehensive plan that we've been kind of going in and editing a little bit, just putting comments off to the side. And so when we're done with that, we can share it with you. If anything that we have put in there, you're okay with changing, you can. If you do not want to change that, that's okay, completely fine. We're here to serve you, so you let us know whatever we can do to help, and we are more than happy to help you, so just let us know anything.
Okay, and we have, I think, 7 people, so don't print a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
But
no,
if
no,
you
no,
have
no.
just a sheet or something you wanna show us, give us 7 copies.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I would imagine you guys gonna be in the community.
Yes.
So we'd like to just make sure we have all your contact information, so we can get some information out to the community that, hey, if Sasha comes out to the community and asking questions about the community, that they understand that you guys are doing some work for the city to get our comprehensive plan updated.
Is there something we can give them that
Yeah, we
shows
certainly
that
could.
they're
Like a
official?
badge?
I think that would be helpful.
Can you give us some badges?
We have,
Picture badges or
trouble
something?
with solicitors.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll
Maybe
figure,
some lanyards they can wear around there.
we'll give something out. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
The most useful thing will be if there are any documents you want to look into. So it could be anything
Yeah.
from crime reports or whatever that you think is very important. I've also heard that there might be a comprehensive plan 2.0 that has been worked on in the past. Like other documents that just has much of the data available that we can use and
Right.
incorporate.
I think you have
Will
a
be
copy
awesome.
of our old one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I don't know what 2.0.
We
You
don't
said that to me, and I was
We
like,
don't
I don't
know.
know what.
I think
what
we
you're
might have
referring to.
misheard something or something. Don't.
But I can search and see if there's something else
There's-
that
yes.
was edited.
Yeah, if you want specific things to be included, so
Give you,
yeah,
Oh,
just give us
there
the
is one
data or
thing.
request what you want to be included.
Katie, remember Katie did that whole thing over there and sticky notes and whatnot, and she wrote something up. I'll ask her whatever that was that we had and give that to you. It was, trying to figure out what our priorities were. Were you
Yeah,
there?
things that are important to the community.
Yes, we will also have a community survey, which, because of Bill, having some personal issues, it will take a little more time, but, we will have it ready very soon when he's back, and which will be great, if as many people in the community could, respond to it, so we can have a great picture of the general opinion and the community needs as
Okay.
well.
We can do that. Can you do a survey online? And
Yes,
Yeah,
it's almost
yeah,
done,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
we're just
almost
waiting for, Professor
Approval.
Binder, to
Give us a
get
stamp
back,
of approval.
and,
Yeah.
yes, get his approval first.
And hopefully we'll put it on down over to Overbrook. That's where you can get most people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a little piece of paper. It's not a giant piece of paper, but this is just my contact info. It's my personal email, my phone number, and whatever. So if you guys,
So we can put that in, just email that to Becky. You have her.
oh,
I think I
okay.
have
Yeah,
it.
just
I'll put
email
it
all
in the
you
There you
guys'
go.
information and get it taken.
I have it. I have
Alright.
it already.
But I'll put it in the packet so everybody has
Okay,
it.
better.
And everybody else is if you don't have theirs.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on that? All right, appreciate everyone coming here for talk about GIS and mapping.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, that takes us to maintenance action items. Oh, nope, I skipped over it. Sorry. I crossed out that whole section when I crossed out Hazel. All right. That takes us to section F, public comments. Do we have any public comments?
About what? Anything?
Anything.
Check it out, okay. We did meet with Chad last night
Okay.
about the mobile home park. And, about 3 or 4 of us showed up. He does have a map showing everybody's individual lot lines. And so what we're gonna do is pass one out to every member in the mobile home park.
Okay.
And then they will sign off on their individual, that lot line as mapped out is okay.
Okay.
The plan is to gather those up and have them to the city council by March 1st.
Okay.
So that's where we're at on that. Is
March-
that the only thing you're kind of waiting on at this point?
Yeah, it was up to you guys on that.
Okay.
So understand, by March 1st, at least that's the target date, we'll have, everybody's taking a look at that and
Yeah.
agreement on you guys as to what the lot lines are, and then we'll get those in, and that would obviously, that would be really good information if we're talking planning. I mean, just thinking going forward, that would
Right.
be exactly what you would
Right.
put in a comprehensive plan to say
Okay.
this is
Okay.
what this is what it looks like.
Okay.
So we know responsibility.
Yeah, and that way, if somebody moves in or out, everybody will know exactly where
Right.
their boundary lines are and all that stuff.
And that can be filed here at the
Yes.
cities to where we're aware of
Yes.
that as well.
I do not expect anybody to have a problem. There was quite a few I talked to that did not come last night, but,
Okay.
do you have a problem with your lot line?
Nope, I signed off before I came in here.
Okay, Gary's brought
Yep.
it over to you, okay.
Can you just state your name,
Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie
Carrie
Davis.
Davis?
Kerri.
As part of our new book, we thought, well, we know who everybody is typically,
Well,
but,
that's okay. I
but we thought we
understand.
should maybe
Yeah.
officially put that in the minutes.
Okay.
So appreciate that. All right. Becky's reminding me we're supposed to have addresses in there too. So
Supposed to have your name and address
Oh.
technically in the rules.
Okay, 105 Elm, Lot 9, Overbrook.
We know your address, but this
That's
way,
okay.
This way it's official.
Fine.
okay, well, appreciate that update. Any other public comments on that? Okay. All right, we'll move on then to maintenance action items G1. Do you have any maintenance action items?
No, I don't.
Couple little updates I'd like to say on the maintenance department, though. We did work with Haynes, and Ben has been training on our PLC and VFD and high tide. That's all the, I should not use acronyms, programmable logic controllers and variable frequency drives for the pumps at rural pump house. So we,
However far that is.
some of you may not have known, but Rule 5 changed their new meter, put a new meter and what have you out there. That caused a few issues with the pump house, so we've got that to where it's coming on and off automatically and as it's supposed to. So we got that solved. Sergeant Drilling was here, took a look at well 2. I don't know if we got a picture yet from them. I think we're still waiting on some information from them.
We are. We're still waiting on
but
video and numbers.
We believe, at least in their video, what they've told us, and they're reviewing the footage, and we'll get a copy of that footage. But they think there's a hole in the casing, but I don't know exactly where. I don't know how far down or exactly what. So we've asked them to give us some depth and footage and what have you, so we can evaluate that and then figure out what we're going to do with well 2. So, all right. Just wanted to bring you up to speed if you had not been aware of those items. All right. Anything else on maintenance, Danny?
Everything else pretty much standard. I'll give you guys a quick update on the little sinkhole area up by Rock Creek Cafe. We cameraed to the north of where that opened up at, and it does look like that storm drain goes into the state's storm drain that runs east and west along the south side of the highway there. We weren't able to see if there's another one that connects going to the north on where that water's coming up on the northeast corner of 56 and Maple. But I think at this point in time, we just need to either decide if we want to backfill in that whole culvert because it's all abandoned and it's not being used anymore, we wanna fill in that whole channel, it's roughly 80 feet of that, or do we just wanna fill in where the sinkhole opened up? And,
Put some type of drop-in drain or something.
yeah,
Something.
it's,
Alright, so we either gotta decide if we wanna patch it, or if we wanna fill it, or what we're gonna do with that. Alright, so we'll get some,
Yeah,
we'll
I've
get
got
some
it.
pricing on that.
yeah, I
kind of
need to
stuff.
get some numbers on what it would cost to have that filled with some concrete or something like that, but,
Alright,
yeah.
if anyone has any ideas on that, let us know.
We also need to try to figure out where the water's coming from. That is still leaking.
Yeah, but it's
Still
not
running.
coming from the south side of the road where the sinkhole and that
No, I'm
corner
not
is.
saying-
It-
I'm
No,
just saying
it's all dry.
It's still leaking.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be doing some more digging, there's no doubt about it.
We do know it's not our water line.
At least we think it's. Okay, anything else, Danny?
Nope.
Alright, it takes us to G2 OPR action items, facility use agreement. I think the, Parks and Rec Board has been discussing, facility use for the gym. We're now putting heating and air over there and that kind of thing, so when they get finished with that, we thought it was, important to, talk about what we're gonna use it for and what the use agreement is and those type of things. Scheduling, they did get, appreciate all the work this last month on getting the door functioning. So our key card door functions. I think they coded a few of them, and many of you may have a punch code, so we'll now be moving forward with some locks, change outs, and those kinds of things. So it'll give us a little more control of who's going in and going out and scheduling purposes. So that's kind of the whole discussion here on facility use.
That's her agreement.
So, you guys have any questions, thoughts? Think this is too restrictive, not restrictive enough? Now's the time to voice those and we can finalize that.
I didn't see that in the packet, was it in there?
And Madison tracking these 30 volunteer hours?
Yeah.
How will that happen?
It would be with only, so similar to what the school does, how they'll take like $50 off for every event that you do. It would be only authorized events that either one of the OPR members or me is at. So like, let's say we have someone running a concession stand. Throughout most of the ball season, I'm there for at least an hour during the games, so I know that they're there. And I have staff there, so it's easy for me to know if someone is where they're supposed to be or not supposed to be there.
So say you got a team of 10 kids who are practicing in there, and all 10 kids want to be up there at the same time volunteering. Is that 10 volunteering for 1 hour? So is that 10 hours?
No,
I'm just saying you're going to get a million more questions about the
Oh, I
volunteer
know.
stuff.
Yeah, that
So,
would be kind of what the board has come up with, could be something like that. But the
So-
idea is like if we had a group of like 20 people who wanted to work the fishing derby, we could get volunteers, because one of the things that OPR struggles with is getting community volunteers to help with these projects that.
I totally get the volunteer part. I'm just saying that tracking 30 volunteer hours will be a full-time job for you. I'm just saying. I would just say, have your system in place before you get 1,000,001 questions. That's all.
Yeah.
Nobody asked my opinion on that, but good luck.
Take it out or leave it in.
I think you should leave it in, but I think you're gonna get people who are gonna argue with you because I did it, but you weren't there, or she did it and she was beside me the whole time, but you just never saw her, or I'm just trying to say, prepare yourself, girl.
Well, and there is a clause in there too that literally says if there is failure to comply with this, then there will be actions taken, including back dues for the time that the facility was used. Or if
I understand that you can say that, but enforcement of that then becomes another issue.
if we have like paperwork that they sign off on, then like there's ways around it. We could have like a tracking software similar to what FBLA FBLA does, where, you know, you have to have the supervisor sign off on X, Y, and Z, so I could have like my concession stand lead, or let's say that Perry Boyd's at an event and I'm not there, he can sign off on it. But it'd be a responsibility on the people to make sure that their paperwork's get done, because then if they don't get it done, we can go back and say, hey, you didn't complete the requirements for last year, you owe us X amount of money.
Maybe they'll strike a $200 check.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Obviously, we want the whole goal there is to use it as much as possible for the community, but not to abuse it either, so. All right.
So did they already, this
I
is
hate to
done,
approve it if I didn't read it.
this is done?
Is this the recommendation?
Okay,
So you're just, it was just here to review.
To share with us.
To share.
Yeah.
Okay.
And unless you guys
Unless there's something you wanna change.
want to change on it.
I was curious, the bathroom doors must remain closed at all times, I don't get that, but it doesn't matter, it just makes me
I can
curious.
explain that to you if you want.
Okay, later.
Alright. Well, when we get ADA compliance, it won't be an issue, so. Okay, well, if you have any changes, corrections, additions, this is obviously a living document, review it. If it has problems, we can change it, so it's not like it's set in stone forever. So, this is take one of maybe multiple takes. Alright, anything else on that? No, we're moving on to pool action items. I have struggled mightily. I've called everybody on the planet, it seems. Floridra in Florida apparently does not answer the phone. I don't know if they're in business anymore. Don't really know. But our flanges we've been looking for are actually from Serpex or CPEX, CEPEX, I think. They are actually made in Spain and they're metric, what I've determined. Used to be a common thing for pools. I don't know how the distributorship is Floridra out of Florida. Indelco out of Kansas City, tried to get a hold of them for the last month. Tried to find those particular flanges. They could not do so. They called me back finally and said, well, we can't get them. We can get standard ones, but not those. So I sent one off to Marzoff out of Wisconsin, and they are going to manufacture some split ring flanges for us, which is what we needed anyway, based on the original measurements. So, and should solve our pool problem and be able to put it back together without new sand filters. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Hopefully we'll have those back by the end of March, and that should give us plenty of time. We do need to get with Midwest Pool and find out where our nuts and bolts are for that flange that goes on that sand filter. So if someone can take that action to Danny, you or Madison, find out where that stuff is at and put that back together before something else happens to the sand filter. So that's kind of where we're at on that. We did have a suggestion, and I don't know, we can take this under advisement, that it would be good to look at maybe putting some type of small slide in at the pool. I don't know, we talked about it in the past, but
That'd be fun.
might gotta consider that, whether that's something, we know that Carbondale's improved their pool. Burlingame they got a brand new pool, so, don't know, but might consider that, is a small slide, for a few $1,000s. I mean, we can spend $50,000 on a slide. I don't think that's where we want to be at, but might be something fun to look at for the kiddies. I think that's all I got on the pool. hopefully we'll be ready to open up. We got, could use some volunteers if someone wants to, help, rebuild the gazebo. We do have that on our task before we open up. We got some welding and some piping and a variety of things to do there. I think that's all I got on that. All right, it takes us to public safety action items. It says we have none. You got anything, Eric? All right. If not, that takes us to G5, financial report.
Brian and I were supposed to meet this week because he was going to teach me how to do his report that he did for us last meeting. But my husband was in the hospital all week long, so I did not meet with Brian. So my report, oh sorry, I didn't shoot it over the screen. So mine has the same information, it's just not quite as fancy and pretty as.
Is that his?
No, this is mine.
I like that you put the different colors so we can follow. I like to have all of our reports like that, so we can find where we are.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, thank you.
So, so we of course began cash, what came in, our expenses for each department. Liabilities are what we've paid, but they haven't been cashed yet. And then this is the cash flow we have now, so available on January 31st. So the only, sorry, I was trying to make it a little bit smaller. Sorry. So the only one that did not show up right that looks funky was programs to me, and so I didn't get with Brian today to talk to him about that. That one doesn't have anything happening in it right now until the summer, so it should be okay. It's fine.
And you will start to see, are we going to move capital projects, sewer stuff into capital projects?
Yes, sewer stuff will go into capital projects right here, number 19.
So, as we move forward on the sewer project, you'll be seeing money for reimbursement coming in from KDHE and then going back out of that fund. As a new fund that we have not had before. We have, but we've renamed it, I guess.
Yes.
So any capital project that we might have. So.
And then, so then there's the bank account balances. Let me see these.
Alright.
And then, Matt, was it you that wanted the trash report? Didn't you ask me?
Just break it out. Okay.
So here I broke out the trash report for January. I know that we're, I want you to know that we did we're in the hole with paying for trash. So this is the income for trash. This is the expense for trash. This is the income for recycling, and that's the expense for recycling for January. So we are not breaking even with our trash, what we charge for trash.
And I noticed, I don't know if that's on maybe someplace else, but you gave us a trash, what those big bins cost.
Yes.
Just to look at those and see, do we really need those? Are they?
Yes,
in
and
the right places?
that's coming down on
Okay.
new business.
Cause that might really help us with that.
Yep. And then, so the monthly transfers, this was my worksheet on how I figured it out. So then this is how much, so these numbers are the funds, and if you don't want those there, I can take those off. That just helps me in moving money. So like we moved this money from general fund to the pool. This is how much I moved. This is how much has been moved so far in 2026. So I did, when I broke it out and did the division, I had all these pennies on there, and I was like, okay, and then after I did it, I'm like, I'm not doing that next month, we're gonna round this up to even worse. Because my spreadsheet now is off like half a cent. So I'll get that fixed. And then we had one loan we had one loan payment, already this year. Did we get it in here? Right here. So water loan payment right there, so the February one. And I can't give you the water, with the water charge, the rural water charge yet, because that won't show up till February. Any questions? Do I need to go back to any spreadsheet? I'm trying. I'm trying to make it big enough so you can see it.
We also created, is it on this one report?
The what?
The new fund that you created.
20, that's the one it's kind of, I don't have the right numbers. It didn't look right to me, so
Okay,
when I put it on there, I was like, that's not right. So I went to call.
that's for the,
Something.
just so everyone knows what our plan is here, programs is gonna include some of a variety of programs, but mostly gonna deal with Parks and Rec, I would guess, in summer, camp space. So we can break that out from a budgeting point of view so we can see about how much it's costing us and how much are we expending, so we can have a better idea of, is the program paying for itself? If not, how are we gonna adjust that? It's an important program, but we obviously wanna make sure our programs pay for themselves. And it also helps in budgeting space in overall Parks and Rec, because it's essentially an unbudgeted fund.
And so right now, this is why I didn't get it all filled out, because right now it shows that they have more expenses than they have income or cash. Because their income for their winter program came in January, and the expenses of paying out all the workers was or the income came in December, and we paid them out in January, so it's 2 different years, so it doesn't show up here.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other questions on the treasurer's report? All right, we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Polly and a second by Cheryl. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. All right. Okay, that takes us to administrative action items. Do we have anything else before we go to the executive sessions?
I move that the governing body recess into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 75-43-1. How much time do we need?
Let's start with 30 minutes.
Really?
Okay. So the open meeting will resume in 30 minutes at City Hall.
So we start at 7:15.
Hold on, we have, one of our citizens using the restroom before you start. Okay.
Let's start at 7:15.
We can make some decisions.
Can you pause for just a second? Because
Yes.
my document went into read-only, so I'm not able to type.
I understand. You're, all right. Well, we'll stop right there and
Well,
You can't make
No.
anything you vote upon.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, I know we can do that.
no actions, no decisions were made. The statement.
Okay, I'm good.
You good now?
I'm good.
Next.
All right. We'll take a break while Bailey's fixing her computer and anyone else needs a bathroom break. Is Zach out there? we're out.
Okay, we need to wait for.
We need to wait for Matt.
Who gave us these?
Did I not put from Becky on the back? You only put from Becky on John's. So
Oh.
I thought I had a secret admirer.
It has to Cheryl, but it doesn't say from whom.
They're from me. It's from Valentine's. Thank you. They were delicious. Good.
I was telling John this story. Luke dropped me off at Walmart to pick up groceries, but he went to Home Depot. And of course I was done before he came back to pick me up. So I was just walking around Walmart, just canoodling around. I was like, oh, I should buy Valentine's.
All right, I move that the governing body recess into executive session for consultation with our attorney pursuant to the KSA 75-4319B2. The open meeting will resume in, how many minutes do we need? 15 minutes. So at 8:05 we will return. Those present will be the council,
Clerk and assistant clerk.
and assistant clerk.
And if the chief is here, let's see, chief here.
Is the chief here?
No, she said he has to work on
Okay, understand. Clerk and assistant clerk.
Okay, so that's the motion.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion to go into executive session for consultation with the attorney for 15 minutes. And we'll start that in 1 minute.
Sorry, guys.
We have a second. That was by Polly.
No, I made the motion. Cheryl seconded it.
Yeah, you made the motion. I said, do we have a second?
I did.
I thought you said Cheryl. Sorry, John.
Should have you. So they would like to have a joint planning and zoning / council meeting to discuss their packet, and we could get all those out on the table, and that would be on Tuesday if we can do that on Tuesday. Next Tuesday. 17th, that's correct.
What time?
We normally meet at 6, but if we need to move it, we're gonna have to notice it out anyway, so.
So we had a special meeting with planning and zoning down here?
Yep, I added that at the bottom to new business, because
Right, that's what,
I didn't realize those went together.
yeah. I guess I should have, yeah.
So at 6 o'clock?
Well,
Here?
Yes, here.
there's a chance I might not make it because someone's coming to visit me from New Mexico, and I think she's gonna be here Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
So if she comes Wednesday, I'll be there.
And there's a chance I might be late because I'm in Kansas City all day that day.
And if we need to move it back, that's fine. So we'll plan on Tuesday, we'll notice it up that way, and hopefully most of you can attend. And if not, then we can reschedule. But I just want to be sure that we noticed it if we're gonna have the full council there. So that, I think they have a pretty good idea of where they want to go with that and the package you were asking for and the breakdown. So, maybe, we'll see. All right, Mayor's Summit update. We do have a Mayor's Summit coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, I just put that on there so you guys can communicate with each other on who's driving, because Matt's
Well, I'll probably be at work till like 4:45, so.
You'll have to.
And it is in
Drive straight.
Osage.
Osage. Okay.
How long does it take to get to Osage?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes probably.
All right, you do that again.
Sure.
Excellent. So we'll come here at,
They start at 5:30, right?
5:30. Quarter till 5:45.
Okay. All right, we'll meet here at 5:30.
No.
4:30.
4:30.
4:35.
4:45.
4:45. We'll be here. Okay. Don't let me talk anymore. Maybe you need to text that to me.
A reminder as well.
All right. Okay, and so, just a reminder, we're having, council, we can't talk about council business or city business or anything like that. We can certainly attend and listen to what they have to say and ask questions and those kinds of things, but we can't decide or talk about our seats. So, if there's more than three of us, three council members.
Well, let's see, there'd be 1, 2, 3, so that's okay though, right?
You can go, you just can't talk about the city stuff, and you
If there's-
can't make any decisions or
Right,
anything
no,
like
but
that.
how many, what's the number, if there's more than 2?
More than two, yes.
Okay, you just said more than 3, and I was confused about that.
Okay, well,
Hmm.
I'll choose my words better. More than 2, 3 or more. How about that?
So, yeah, minus the word, we don't talk about Overbrook.
Yeah. You can bring stuff back and those kinds of things, but we don't want to have a meeting, what would be considered a meeting. All right. Okay. Update bid for the survey on, I think we took care of that. Do we need?
Did we, okay, a lot happened the past couple
Right, I
days, so I'm
understand.
like, I don't
Last
remember.
meeting, we voted for the $8,000 for the engineering, and they're gonna
Okay.
come back to us when they have a better plan as to what exactly we're gonna do.
Okay, I apologize.
Okay. All right, that takes us to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, our trash. And I don't know how we wanna do this in trash space. Right now, trash it's been that way because that's where it's billed out of. But if we need to do something different from trash and water, we can pull it out of Denali that way. But the extra, since it's in water, is being paid out of water, correct? Or how is it?
Yes, we pay it out of water, because that's where all the deposits go into.
Okay. So just wanted to clarify that for everyone, so, it used to be water, sewer, and trash were all in one fund, but they're now just as water and trash.
Yes.
And, well, recycling, whatever's included in trash, which is recycling, stormwater, and, obviously regular water. Okay, so we have this many dumpsters strung out through the city. We have received a few complaints over the years and recently. Ones that usually come to mind are the ones at the new shop, the one by the old shop.
New shop.
So it's the recycling bin one.
And the recycling bin, but all three of those, historically, we've seen some complaints on, both from citizens and from Joe and the trash folks. We've had a bit of discussion in times past, and we're seeing a bit of that now, is people from outside the city, if you will, putting trash in various dumpsters. Happens on virtually almost all the dumpsters that are kind of in public spaces. Some of the discussion has been, well, is it better to have it in the dumpster or, out on the county road or in the city, so is that an expense that we're willing to cover? So we've always kept the dumpsters. We do some of these, the park, the lake and the pool, they are intermittent. We don't keep them around all year round, especially at the concession stand and at the lake. We remove one over by the ball diamonds and the pool one pretty regularly. They're only there during the summer. And then that obviously leads us into the question of the dumpsters we're paying for. We recently had a complaint specifically at the fire department and at the new shop of just overflow of trash. And
Quick question though, new shop and recycle bin. There's two dumpsters up there?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a dumpster back further by Danny's shop, and then there's one at the
Both of
recycling
those are
bin.
overflowing.
The one by the recycling bin, I got a picture.
Oh, yeah, I
put it
saw
in
a
here.
picture. I drive by it every day. I
Yeah.
see it.
We call
And we've had people in that neighborhood particularly have called and complained because that trash is overflowing, and when the wind blows, it's blowing into their yards.
Yeah, sure.
So
all
that-
the way down to my house too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
the other issue with that dumpster is that they drop off furniture, sometimes they drop off.
Glass.
We've seen a variety of things.
My nifty
windows,
little
glass.
spreadsheet here is just showing the dumpsters that we pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Each month we pay for it, how much it costs per year, and how much total it is per year that the city eats. So we don't bill anybody for any of that. So this is free dumpsters
That's right.
So, yeah, it's-
for the area.
so the question kind of has become, this used to be a much larger figure. We've adjusted it over the years to try to get it closer. It used to be closer to $10,000 or $15,000 a year that we would pay for dumpsters, but we're not collecting fees to pay for those. Now, you can look at it a couple different ways. One, how do we view trash? And is it a service that we're gonna provide to the community for that? People outside of town obviously come in and dump trash from time to time. A few years ago, that was a fairly large issue. It kind of calmed down a little bit. We did increase fees to chop this number down a little bit, but either way, the fees we charge for trash, do we want them to cover this set of dumpsters that the city provides to the community?
What was the complaint at the fire department dumpster?
Just that it was overflowing and it had a lot of trash
Where's that dumpster? At the new building?
at the new fire.
And why do we pay for that?
Well, we just have. We pay for their water, we pay for their sewer, we pay for their dumpster as well.
Just being nice?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it the fire department that complained about the dumpster?
This was that particular complaint, I believe, was from the trash people. They're like, where did all this trash come from? Why is it here? And they believed that it was people dumping in the fire department dumpster, which we pay for, maybe outside of town. So they brought it to our attention and said, hey, what do you want to do about this? This is pretty unusual. And then the same complaint was made at the one over at the recycle bin. Because again, we've seen chairs and tires and paint, who knows what, set over there. They usually set it out, and then we have to take care of it from the city point of view. But the same discussion is it people outside the city? And the stance of the city in the past is, well, we're not happy about it, and maybe people out in the county are not paying for trash, which they should be.
Do they only dump those dumpsters once a month? Or twice a month,
Depends.
or is it once a week?
They dump them every Friday. If it's some people, like the private, you can choose to have them dumped twice, but then you have to pay twice. So we only have ours dumped on Fridays. But like a lot of the businesses will have them dumped twice.
Tuesdays and
yeah,
Fridays.
Like
Twice a week.
TJ's
So
has
they dump them once a week, but some places have them not.
paid for it twice a week.
About $65. Like mine's dumped twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. And it's $60-some dollars.
Are they all
$69.12,
fairly
that's what Ben-
well used? Are some of them like not very well used, like the one over by the boat ramp? Is that one?
It's full in the summer.
It's usually full in the summertime.
They're
Well,
full.
Who puts stuff in there in the summertime?
patrons at the park.
Full people at the park, and they dump, our guys, when they dump the lake trash.
Oh, they put it
They
in there.
put it in the lake dumpsters.
What we'd like to do is anything around the lake, do not put fish
Oh my
in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Put it back in the lake,
I'm supposed
please.
to put out a YouTube video on that.
Please
From
put it
my
back in the
laptop.
lake. Our wildlife and parks guy would be super happy with you.
This
We
may
had,
not work, but could we put a smaller dumpster in those places that there's a problem and then they'd be discouraged?
Smaller dumpsters. Yeah, if you put smaller dumpsters in, you're just gonna run over more overflow. There's gonna overflow more.
Okay.
I mean, I know some of the businesses have been padlocking their dumpsters.
Oh.
So like the bank padlocks their dumpsters, so
Oh.
nobody can put trash in besides them and Joe can pick it up. And I think the feed bunk, she called and told me, cause she called too, because somebody's putting trash in her dumpster and she can't put her trash in it, and she's gonna put a padlock on hers. So that the only people that can get in it is.
So we could do that too. But
We
don't
could,
want-
but-
we don't want to, cause then
Well,
it's,
because the dumpsters are there for people to use them. It's, the problem is that they overflow. At least in my
But it's still
opinion.
considered illegal dump.
it's,
Well,
When people from out of town are coming
yeah,
in.
that, yeah,
Done.
but I'm talking about the people that live
where the
in town.
recycling bin is at. Have we ever thought about moving that? Yes,
Like the shop there by the ball diamond.
yes.
There's room back there for it. People would still, the people who are gonna recycle would still go down there and recycle.
Well-
But that trash can would be out there for everybody
I've got a
to
comment
see.
though. I thought that that was for overflow from recycling, but if you put something in there, it's trash. So it doesn't matter where it is, you could move
Well-
it, and recycle people wouldn't care, because none of that stuff in that dumpster is recycled.
No, but there's a recycling bin there. Cardboard recycling bin.
Yes.
That's the county.
We can,
But I know, but I'm saying move it all down
well,
there.
years ago, it used to be over there.
I think it should go back.
I mean, we could certainly try putting it back there. It used to be along the, west side of the shop.
That's what I had a vision, I didn't know. that.
There's a dumpster there now,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it did used to be over
And I
there.
think you'd have to keep keep a dumpster there, maybe two. You'll have to keep Danny's dumpster up there by the building.
Right, but we could move 2 dumpsters or get a larger dumpster, at the park, and then the cardboard and recycling. Do we like the cardboard where it's at? I don't know.
Are you talking about the
I-
trailer that's the cardboard recycling?
The big,
Oh, yeah, I like that, cause then I don't have to break it down.
we're supposed to.
We're supposed to break it
But then
down.
that overflows when people don't break their stuff down.
We do. We take ours.
I'm not talking about the trailer that you slide the skinny stuff in, I'm
No.
talking about the big one.
Yeah, the big one, you're still supposed to.
I
make
have
it.
never seen anybody break
Well,
it
that's
down.
why it's always overflowing.
That is why it's always overflowing. I have heard though that when that trailer is no longer functioning, and it's getting pretty ratty,
Yeah.
shabby, that the county is gonna get rid of both those trailers, no matter what.
So we won't have any recycling?
They're not gonna haul it. Currently they
We
haul it.
still have recycling.
Curbside recycling.
Yeah, but
It's the same thing.
with, no, but I mean with all the boxes that come.
That's because
Okay.
you don't flatten them.
You have to
Ask,
find them
ask and
curbside,
answer.
We got to-
Our recycling, I mean, honestly, our recycling is overfull within a week
Yeah,
at our house. I mean, I wish they'd come
more often.
more
I know.
often.
Me too, yeah.
But yeah, I think that would, that's a big corner right there, you know, that gets a
We
lot of
talked
traffic.
about just
That
putting
looks shitty.
a bigger dumpster, just almost a roll-off at one time, and putting all the recycling in that.
But it would all get wet and then they couldn't,
Yeah.
Turn to trash and then.
yeah, they couldn't store it, how they couldn't.
Yeah, I don't, but,
You gotta roll off, then you really get tires.
right, yeah, who knows what you get in there.
Yeah.
So I think there's 2 questions here. One, you know, how to solve recycling and extra overflow of dumpsters and, you know, out of town folks coming in, that complaint, that's a complaint that we're receiving. The other question is the cost question. I mean, we provide these dumpsters. How do we cover the
Like
cost?
you could, for first step it on the public dumpsters that are intended for people within the city to use with signage, like first step, you know, please no outside of the city limits, trash dumped in this trash can, or something like that, so that, you know, people are fully aware, like, baby steps. And then, the next step is, you know, another sign that says, people who are dumping trash that don't live here will be persecuted, or whatever you said. I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like, just make a public notice that, like, hey, don't dump your trash here.
That would
You're not from here.
I don't know.
Does the
Signs
fire
would work,
department, do you need the great big dumpster, or could you just go to trash cans? I mean, that would be a question for.
Dumpster, because I put big boxes sometimes, or I'll have multiple things of trash to put in there. It's on camera.
So we can see who's abusing it.
I know exactly who's always dumped in it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and it's not from outside city limits. I'll
Oh,
tell
it's
you
from
that.
inside.
It is.
So it's
Okay.
okay with you that they do that?
The person that did it, yes, they're on the department, so, and they live in the city, so it would have been on their curb anyways. But I haven't had a problem with anybody outside city limits dumping in it.
You say you do or you don't?
I don't. I haven't had a problem, no. And if
Oh.
I ever did, it's on camera.
Is it a requirement, do we know though, I mean, outside the city limits, I don't know for sure what the county, is it like the city, everybody in town is required to have trash? I don't know what it is in the county.
No, in the county, you do not have to have trash, it's your option.
You can burn your.
Yeah.
I know you can burn it, but I didn't know if they required trash service or not. So, yeah, so I think there's two different questions there. It's a cost question. Do we need to raise fees to cover this extra $5,000 that we're paying? And the other argument that has been made in the past is, as good stewards of the environment, and our county as a whole, while we're not happy about people outside the town dumping in them, would you rather have it in a dumpster that eventually gets to the trash versus in the ditch somewhere? You know, I don't know.
Well, just like here, do you really need, without the fire department here, do you guys really need a dumpster out back here?
Good point.
Cause that thing gets filled all the time with people out there.
Probably.
I've seen it.
Probably
happen
not.
On calls.
Probably not. Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
And how many, cause
I
the
mean-
way it's hidden back there, that's why it always ended up with paint cans out back too.
Well, that's a good thought. We could certainly probably go to a trash can on that one.
Cause all you
And
gotta have is office
Does
trash.
the library put their trash?
No, they have,
They have a
they
trash.
have
I know
trash
when I
cans.
rented the room, I would just haul it over here to
Don't
the
they
city
just have
can.
the rolling?
They have one trash can or two.
Look at that mess.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
sent to me. I got two, but the other one didn't come out very well.
That's a shame.
And that's right there on that big corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think it all needs to be moved down there by the shop.
Yeah, it's.
We can
And
certainly,
put a camera on it,
There's a camera over there.
but it doesn't shine on that.
I don't know if you can see that far on it or not.
If we moved it by Danny,
I think if you hide it, you're gonna get more.
more
You
trash.
think we get more over there, you don't see it?
There is a dumpster by the old shop now. It's always there. I don't know
That
how
one-
full it is.
That
though.
one just always looks like that.
It does.
It's right out in the open.
Well, I think the neighbors aren't particularly happy about it either.
No, I wouldn't be either. It probably stinks.
So we're thinking we maybe wanna have Joe move that?
Yeah, but like Matt says, Matt's fears if it's hidden, it'll be worse. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe so, but at least it's hidden.
Yeah, or the trash is gonna blow all over the park.
Well, I like Polly's idea of at least putting, putting
There's
a
your
notice,
volunteer hours.
putting a notice out in the newsletter. Messaging people,
Well, maybe in public notice,
public
How do
notices,
we solve this
and
question?
then put a camera on it so you can see who's dumping.
Well,
I'm not
I-
sure we
I
have
do know
additional
that-
expensive a camera when we're already got
really expensive.
expenses and we're not covering it.
I know on that particular dumpster, whatever they dumped last week, there was 8 paint cans that they set out of the dumpster, and they won't take it, and a tire. Cause they're not gonna take a tire or a paint can.
I did stop and take some buckets from there one time. I'm doing my part.
So what happens with that stuff?
When do they have the toxic waste disposal or?
Osage County doesn't do it anymore.
Topeka does, we take it to Topeka. And then-
Franklin County,
Throw it in the dumpsters and take it.
No.
Franklin County used to take it, but
Douglas County used to have a place, I don't know if they do.
we've talked about that at the county level. At the mayor's summit, we've talked about this very issue, and every town has the same issue. Every single town in Osage County has the same issue with, you got some dumpsters out there, private or city, and people dump in them, not supposed to, and then they put stuff in there they're not supposed to.
As far as paying for this stuff, get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise water rates, we already talked about that, we gotta figure out what it's gonna be, this would be on that bill.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some backlash, if we're trying to pay for all of this.
Right.
So,
I mean,
I think that, you know, we've already talked about we pay more in taxes in Overbrook than we do in Cormier Strength, I think for good reason. I think our community
right.
shows that. Part of that is, you kind of expect the city to pay for some of this stuff, because you're paying more in taxes, take care of the
So
public
maybe we
trash.
pay to have this one dumped twice a week.
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
Well, we can
If
ask.
this one is, if this is the one that we're getting the most complaints from
Or if he
our
drives up there and
community.
sees it, it's full or half full or 3/4 full, just go ahead and dump it half a week. I mean, it doesn't have to be like necessarily twice a week, every week, but.
Dump it when it's.
Only if he- yeah,
I
Because
could call,
he's already in
he's
town.
already- exactly.
I could call and ask them if they'd be willing to do that and
Do
just
it
let
right
us
by.
know if it's
When
over
it-
full and when they dumped it, bill us.
That way it doesn't end up like this maybe.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a good.
And then if it is consistently,
but that's not decreasing our cost, but it will
It
make,
fixes
it will
that.
make them, make
Yeah.
people a little bit happier.
And then assign this to Overbrook Pride. To find a resolution or raise money to pay for the trash.
Well, I will have to say that I believe the Overbrook Pride is on that sign, used to be on that sign for the recycling that is over there. I think the sign fell down, but
I haven't seen the sign.
I think we
I
still
think
have the
it's for the
sign
trash
somewhere,
guys.
but.
The trash guys that have to pick that up, yuck, I feel sorry for them. And plus, every time they dump in the, wherever they dump it, they have to pay. You know, so I don't think our trash company's gonna be too happy. You know what I mean, with, that's probably why they're commenting on the amount of trash, cause they have to pay for how much
Well,
they dump.
Well, if you're contained within your trash can, you're supposed to call them anyhow and pay a premium that month.
Right, that's it.
If you're overfilled, you're
Right.
supposed to pay a premium.
I think,
Not take it to the city, cause then this happens, and the city should be billed back.
A little article in the newsletter about how to create less trash.
Yeah.
Actually, how to upcycle.
Literally, right?
okay,
Well, we could put that, we could have a monthly feature on recycling and
so we're gonna,
making so much trash.
I'm hearing the consensus is we're gonna check on getting this one dumped, twice a week, and do we want to move it? I'm hearing no on moving it and dumping it, but yes on dumping
Try
it twice a
it
week.
more often. And maybe not twice a week, but like
Do we need a
you
motion
said,
on that?
do it drive by.
To add a
Sure.
second?
Does it,
Would,
I don't
would it be
know.
possible to move it back on the rock pile at least?
Yeah, we can move it.
Maybe moving it back would deter some people from working in there.
We can move any of that stuff.
I don't think it will. I think if somebody has a truck full of trash and they have to drive 3 more feet to be able to dump it in a dumpster.
I'll have to
I think-
say,
You wouldn't, but yes, it wouldn't be right
Wouldn't
being
be
a
right
school
there.
bus driving by every, I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
I'd move back there and put it right beside the other dumpster.
I will have to say though, for whatever reason, I don't think Danny's dumpster gets, I've seen that one overflow like that, And if you look in that back, look at the back one back there, there's nothing in it.
Why don't we give
Maybe
him
they
a
think there's a
trash
camera
can?
back there.
There is a
Right.
camera back there.
Oh.
Hey,
Ding, ding, ding.
could we give him a trash can too?
He has some big stuff sometimes.
He has a
Put it in
trash.
there then.
He had, see his trash can right by
Yeah,
there?
she's saying cans.
Get rid of
Oh.
that.
But if they dump this one twice a week, move this one back there, and then Danny can dump in it. And then
Good point.
you're already paying for,
I
Yeah.
love that.
Why is it
Side
not?
by side dumpsters.
Get rid of his.
They'll just get
move
rid
this
of one.
over there.
Get
Yeah,
rid
yeah.
of one and then dump this one.
Perfect, smart.
and just dump that one twice a week.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
if it needs it.
And then get those recycling trays over there by the,
Okay,
clean that corner up.
alright, so we'll move the recycling trailers. Sounds like, or we'll try it
Do we
anyway.
have to call the county to, well, I mean, do I have to
I
call
hope
the
they don't just
county
move
here?
them out.
Because, you know, you got the sign that's all concrete in the ground and.
I don't know,
Once
is
the
it-
trailer's not-
is the sign there still? Well, the sign moved from the park to over there, so. It was,
Did we move that sign or?
yes, we moved it.
Okay.
And maybe we could put some signage on that for Overbrook City, period. You know, some signage, if we move it back there. I think we need to do a variety of
I
things.
think, honestly, I think if you just move it back there, it'll stop.
What do you think?
Well, I'd say we try it first. Try that first.
Okay,
So
So
the
basically-
motion is to remove one dumpster
And have the one dumpster,
and then have the one remaining dumpster emptied twice a week.
And then
If
to have
needed.
the city's
I didn't hear what you said.
If
dumpster
needed.
turned into a trash can.
No, because that's gonna be the one remaining dumpster.
no, the city's back here.
Oh, yeah, the city.
the city back here.
City office.
City hall.
I'm looking at the shop.
Okay, so repeat that motion again there, Polly?
I don't want to.
Alright, I'll see if I can summarize.
Yeah, your voice is louder. Bailey will be able to.
Alright, Bailey, I think we have a motion from Polly to, remove one dumpster over at the maintenance shop and to dump the other dumpster twice a week that remains,
If needed.
Yeah, if needed.
if needed,
I'll ask
If
Joe
Joe
if
will do
he'll-
that.
and to remove the dumpster in the back here and go to a trash can at City Hall.
But
Good motion.
why don't we have them remove that one instead of moving it? Let's
Well,
keep
he
them
would,
That's what
he
we
would, he would remove that one.
and remove that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I
We'll
thought
leave it to
everybody
Joe to
thought-
figure out the logistics.
Okay.
That's not us.
Do whatever's easier.
Are you including the relocation of the recycling in this motion?
No.
Okay.
Just the trash.
Alright. So, do we have a second? We have a second by Cheryl. Any other discussion on that?
What's his idea?
Oh, you want a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. So, we'll take that action and then we'll look at, we'll get a hold of the county and see if they would have heartburn if we move that back over to the park. How about that?
Back over to the park.
In front of the old maintenance building.
The old maintenance building.
Back where it was originally at.
The north end of the parking lot, at the ball diamond.
That's where it was originally.
Oh, I don't know where that is. I don't get over there.
Well, you're not local.
You're a little crap.
You drive by right when you go to the park to walk. It's right there at the end of the ball field with the brown building.
Oh, that big brown building where the stuff was growing up the side.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where that is.
Alright. Okay. Anything else on that? If not, we're moving on to ordinance for council meeting and work session, ordinance 452. Since we moved our work session, and we think we're gonna have it the fourth Thursday night. Is that routine?
Yeah.
We're gonna put it in an ordinance so we don't have to notice it up every single time.
Right, good.
Long and short.
I don't know why I can't slide this, anything in Word won't slide into that screen.
See, you got that issue too now.
Behind it?
It's on my screen, I can change the screen.
does anybody have any heartburn with this, ordinance?
Nope.
All right, we want
And
a
I
motion
had
to approve it?
Pat look at it too.
I'll make a motion to accept the ordinance 452.
All right, we got a motion by Cheryl, do we have a second?
I second.
And if Polly gets back, we'll vote on it.
We have a quorum without it. Just being-
I may not be at that meeting, the work session.
Oh, okay.
Depends on if I get delayed coming out of Milwaukee or not.
I'll send you an email.
I'm supposed to be back, fly back by, land by
Sorry.
2:30, but.
I was young, I don't know what's what.
I was asleep in bed last night before 9 o'clock.
Whoa.
It's not gonna happen today.
Well, it might, could, maybe not asleep, but we hustle, maybe we can get there.
Have them all on the Capitol.
No, I'm driving to Kansas City as soon as I get done with this.
Is that where he is? Wait a minute. when you got
We
off?
leave, our flight leaves tomorrow morning at 5:30, so.
Polly, we got a motion and a second to, approve this ordinance, or this resolution, ordinance.
It just says
To-
we're gonna meet
Sorry, I'm ready to go.
work sessions on fourth Thursday.
Codify the times.
Yeah, for sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, that takes us to computer software support. Do we have a motion to approve some computer software support?
It's the Denali support that we've brought up before. We're out of our cheaper support hours. I mean, we could pay by what we're doing, but if we prepay this amount, it's cheaper by, I think, $15 an hour.
An hour.
$20 an hour, something.
Make the motion, as long as they change the ship to.
I understand. We got a motion
No, right.
to ship to the right address. And, do we have a second for that?
Right name.
Right name.
Right name and right address, for computer support.
Second that motion.
You made the motion.
Oh, I thought you made the motion.
I can't make the motion.
I'll second.
I got a second by Cheryl. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Work session dates and times, well, we just passed an ordinance on that.
I just wanted to remind the March meeting. I didn't put it on there. The March meeting is moved. So
Okay.
Get it in the paper to the first
All right.
Wednesday
Oh,
instead of the
yeah.
second Wednesday. It's the third, I think.
That's, wait a minute, that's a Sunday.
March.
Isn't that a Sunday? I'm having a problem with that.
The first Wednesday.
First Wednesday of March will be March 4th.
Okay.
So notice up the,
That's the-
March 4th meeting for council.
Yes,
That's
and I will
the-
get it in the paper.
Okay, I'm moving it.
I wrote that down and I went to put question mark by that.
Okay. I think I have to do that or 3 members of the council, so I will just do that. We'll move the March meeting and notice it up for, March 4th. Okay. I think that's the way the rules work. I think it is. We'll look it up in our new book.
Okay.
But I think I can call a special meeting, which that would be, or 3 members of the council could call a special meeting.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I think that we already talked about the planning and zoning, so that's gonna take us to take a motion to go back to executive session for non-elected personnel, which we're coming back to,
And then we'll be done, so you don't need to come back.
or, unless you want to,
We moved it so you wouldn't have to sit through 3 of them.
but you can come back if you want. All right, that takes us, you want probably 15 minutes?
Okay.
Are you making a motion? Yes,
Officially make
please.
the motion, I move the governing body recess into executive session to discuss personnel pursuant to KSA 7543-19B1. The open meeting will resume in 10 minutes.
15
I'm sorry, 15 minutes, I'm tired. 15 minutes at the Overbrook City Hall.
That will be 9 o'clock.
And those present will be the council.
Yes, the council.
Agenda. Mayor comments.
Only mayor comments.
Okay.
I got a comment. You better write it in.
All right. And we just got mayor comments apparently. Any other comments?
I know.
All right, Cheryl's got a comment.
There was some discussion, when whoever that was, the solicitor that came through town, and I wrote a post. I was shocked how many people responded to that. I was like, whoa. But, so people wanna know what happens when they come here to get a permit. Do you do a background check? You do?
They have to fill out, they fill out an application with all their information of their business and all this stuff, and then I give it to the police department, and then they do a background check on the company and the people who are going door to door. Because they have to list all the people that will be going door to door.
Okay, and so how long does it before they get to go to the door?
Right, I mean,
how long does it take?
Is there a permit for like?
It's a year.
It's a year?
That solar guy will say, wait, if you can.
Taking it around.
Does Mercury Wireless have any over there?
Yes.
I was still working, so I was like.
But I gotta find it, I think it's expired. I'm not really sure, I have to
Tired of
find
knocking
it.
on my door.
I'm gonna put a
Then sign
sign
up for
that says,
Mercury, then they won't knock on your door anymore.
no solicitors. That's what I do. I don't do
Well,
that.
then they, yeah.
How long does it take, once they fill out that paper?
It usually doesn't take very long,
Like a day or two?
couple days,
Couple days, okay.
depending on how much, what the police department has on
Do you
their
wanna write
agenda.
that up and then I'll share it to Overbrook, Overbrook? 'Cause if I don't get it quite right, that can cause some trouble, cause I told them I would check with you all and write it up.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, and if you want me to share it, let me know.
All right.
Yeah, I can just.
Great.
All right.
And I know we did let the police department know that there was somebody soliciting without a permit. He talked to them and they said, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Never did. Yeah, cause I live right over there and I pointed and I said, just go to City Hall and get a permit, and he walked the total opposite direction. So I thought,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Anything else? Any other comments? All right.
Thanks, Becky, for.
All right.
Almost killing Kyle.
That's not her fault.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Don't you wanna make any comments? You're on the list?
You're on the list.
Sure. I'll make some comments. Appreciate everybody's work on the sewer project. That's going to be a big thing. It's going to be lots of things going on. I do want everyone to start taking a peek at the gymnasium and think about what we're going to do. And also what our priorities are. I think 2026, we got to have some appetite control as far as projects that we want to accomplish. So let's focus on the ones we need to. The upstairs is another project, and then concession stand over there. Kind of make sure we take care of our properties that we have. We got lots of mowing and lots of maintenance to do this summer. So if we have any youth that would like some mowing and weed eating duties and various things, please let us know.
How old do they have to be? 15? 14? For mowing?
I don't know for mowing, for.
That's what
Typically 16 for mowing, weed whacking, maybe 14. We'll take a look. We'll take a look at it.
I was just asking.
Yeah, I know, I looked it up last year, I don't remember.
Okay.
Good deal.
I think that's all I got.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
All motion.
We got a motion by Polly.
I'll second.
Second by Matt. All in favor? All opposed? All right, motion passed. We are adjourned at 9:05.